It's Winning Begins at Home. We are post Labor Day, heading full force into the fall. We got football going on, college football anyway. A lot of fun. I'm Randy Gravitt. Glad you're with us here today, trying to win outside of work. And I always say, you've heard me say this if you've been listening for a while, if you win at work and you lose at home, I think you still lose. There are a lot of people who are resonating with this message. It's been fun to hear people with their thanks and encouragement for the show here. But really the show, I said this, I don't know, a while back, the show is not about something. The show is for someone. It's for you. And I really do dream of a world where every single person gets to grow up in a great family. That would be amazing. And yet I know that's not the case. Like, all of our families are a mess, right? They're just not, they're not what they should be. And we have an opportunity to do something about that. I believe that. So if you'll just spend a few minutes with us every day, I say a few minutes, 5, 6, 7 minutes. We don't go very long. Sometimes I get crazy and go 10 or 11, but typically we try to go short. But today I want us to do a couple of things. It's a little bit of a celebration day for us. I say for us, Mark Miller and I, we lead this little company called Lead Every Day. It's a company I've had for, I don't know, I'm going on 12 years now, but Mark joined me a couple years ago. We rebranded over to Lead Every Day, which was fun. And now we've written a book, Lead Every Day, and today is launch day. So congratulations, Mark. If you hear this, shout out to you. A lot of work went into this. I know that we were able to, I say a lot of work. I think I'm estimating maybe 75 years of leadership experience. We've both been doing this for a long time. And so I love this book. I think it's going to be a great operating system, we're calling it, for leaders to help them process all the stuff that's in front of them at work. And so we don't forget about the work side. I know the work side is so important for so many of you who listen here from a leadership perspective. I hope you'll get a copy of Lead Every Day. I hope you'll share that with your coworkers there, especially the leaders on your team. It'll give you a way to think about these 3 disciplines we write about: becoming a better leader, improving your team's performance, and ultimately strengthening your organization. Mark and I've been trying to do that for decades in the places that we've been. And he spent his career with Chick-fil-A, and I've been trying to help organizations these last few years. Been so much of a fun ride there for us. But today I'm thinking back. I've been doing a little bit of a look back, and we just finished a personal operating system kind of focus the last few weeks. And I hope you had a chance to listen to some of those. Go check them out if not. But I've been thinking back. Somebody said to me the other day, can you believe it's been almost 5 years since COVID? And I'm like, man, that's crazy how fast time goes. And by the way, it seems like it goes faster as you get older to me. And as I think about that, or as I was thinking about it, I ran across a little, I've got a little sheet here. I'll show you that I keep this sheet with me all the time. And I wrote down some lessons back during COVID. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to review these lessons this week. And I want to do it twofold. I think these lessons are important. They'll help you at home, outside of work. They actually will help you at work as well. But I think also it's a good time for us to pay attention to some of the things that we've been learning and to write those down. And especially if they rise to the level of like, I need to remember this. And let's make sure that we're building these into the DNA of our life and leadership, not just our life, but our leadership as well. I think these will be relevant probably in both places, but I want to start with some things that I wrote down, and I'm just going to build them. We'll do one each day. We only got 4 days this week, but I've got these 4 things that I'd written down. And I thought this would be a good time to share these things. And so I want to go back to these 4 lessons that I learned, and I still today have got these. I've saved this. I mean, it's something that I'm trying to build this into the way I think. And so here's the first one. Let's start with it today. Just spend a couple minutes about it. But adversity is the path to resilience. Adversity is the path to resilience. You remember when we were going through all that, and there's a lot of disruption going on, a lot of what I would call adversity going on. And it's amazing how much stronger we all got. Obviously there was a lot of stuff that was going on from a health standpoint that a lot of people were very sick and losing some lives. But it was amazing how when we didn't have the ability to meet together or do this together, or we had to, just so many changes. And it was that adversity that actually led to us having deeper community with some people if we chose to. We'll get into that some here toward the end of the week. But I just remember thinking one day, I was sitting on my porch when I wrote these things down, that adversity actually can lead to greater resilience. And so if you look at your life right now, is there an area where you're going through something really hard? The bad news is hard is hard. It's really hard. It's not, it doesn't go away, right? The circumstances, sometimes we get something we're up against, we can't change that. And so we have to go through hard. I heard somebody one time say you're either in the middle of something hard, you just came out of something hard, or you're going into something hard. And maybe it's all three. I mean, you may feel like my life, Randy, was hard. It is hard. And it looks like it's going to be hard. And the good news is, like I said, there's bad news. Hard is hard, but the good news is we do have a chance to be more resilient down the road if we can face that adversity. I had a Navy SEAL who talked to me about this concept. He said when he was going through Hell Week, that's that last week of SEAL training, and I don't know, a couple hundred in their class, and they're down to about 30, 40 guys. I mean, it's like everybody's dropped out over the first few weeks, and it's just, it couldn't be any worse, he said. And then they come up with this thing called, hey, let's just throw in a Hell Week at the end and see how bad we can make it. And he told me, he said, I was literally standing on the bank of a river. And he said, they've taken basically our clothes away from us. We're just freezing, shivering. He said, I literally wanted to be dead. and he said that, and we're just in a couple of hours of finishing this week. We've not slept. We basically haven't eaten. It's just like, it was, you can only imagine how hard it would be. We probably can't imagine how hard it would be. And by the way, shout out to all the people who serve faithfully in our military. It's pretty amazing that they sacrifice so much. And these Navy SEALs, just next level kind of stuff here. And he said, I wanted to be dead. And yet he got through it. And he talked about how he wouldn't have gotten through it had he not had a buddy. I mean, they understand what they're doing here, right? And they had him buddied up. And again, we're going to talk about that toward the end of the week. Another one of my lessons that I learned when we were going through COVID. But I love that mindset that knowing that when you do get through something, that you are more resilient on the backside, you are stronger down the road. And we've all experienced this. We've been able to overcome something small, and now we're ready for something larger. And so I just want to encourage you today, if you got adversity going on in your life, anything going on in your life or your leadership, it's going to be hard. Find somebody that maybe can help you through that. But just don't forget that on the backside of this, you are going to be more resilient. You are going to be stronger, and you are going to be able to maybe even help somebody else down the road. So I just want to remind you that today. Again, I got 4 of these things. I think they'll help you think about your life. More importantly, I hope they'll remind you that there's some areas in your life that you could write down and say, I'm going to build this into the way I think. For me, adversity is the path to resilience. I hope you'll be more resilient today as you think about the adversity in your life. All right. Love you guys. Keep sharing with your friends and family. Pick up a copy of Lead Every Day if you've not done so. Love to have an Amazon review. If you have done so, Mark and I are excited about this. It's going to help a lot of leaders with it. And I hope you'll help us in the process. All right. We'll see you tomorrow for more Winning Begins at Home.